Once upon a time, in a picturesque village nestled in the mountains, where the sun seemed to kiss the golden hills and the streams sang their serene melodies, there lived a young man named Luke. He was a restless spirit, always in search of a purpose. From an early age, Luke felt that something greater was destined for him, but the answer seemed to slip through his fingers like sand in the wind. Luke grew up watching his friends find clear paths. Some followed in their parents' footsteps, others discovered extraordinary talents, but Luke felt lost in the grand game of life. His days were filled with ordinary tasks, but his mind wandered far, seeking a greater meaning. His heart yearned for something he couldn't define, and this restlessness consumed him day and night. One day, on an autumn afternoon, while Luke was walking the mountain trails in search of answers, he came across an old man sitting in the shade of a large tree. The old man had an aura of wisdom and serenity, and his eyes shone with a light that seemed to hold 1,000 stories. Driven by an irresistible curiosity, Luke approached and started a conversation. "Good afternoon, sir," said Luke. "My name is Luke. I've been walking these trails looking for answers about my life, but the more I search, the less I find. You seem to know many secrets. Can you help me find my way?" The old man smiled gently. "My name is Eli," he replied. "Wisdom is not found in the answers we seek, but in the questions we ask ourselves. Sit with me, young man, and let me tell you a story." Luke sat down next to Eli, and the old man began to tell a story that would be the thread guiding Luke's transformation. "There was a time," Eli began, "when I was also a lost young man, very much like you. I traveled to many places, asked many questions, and finally found a wise man in the mountains who taught me a valuable lesson. He said that life is like a river, always moving, always flowing, and the secret to finding success is learning to navigate with the currents instead of fighting against them." Eli continued, describing how he had learned to listen to nature, to notice the signs around him, and to understand that true success comes from within. "The world teaches us to chase wealth, status, and recognition," he said. "But true prosperity is living in harmony with who we are and with what we have." Luke listened intently, feeling that every word Eli spoke resonated deeply within his heart. "But how can I apply this to my life?" he asked. "How can I find my way and prosper?" Eli smiled again, his eyes shining even brighter. "The answer lies in discovering your passions, in serving others, and in never giving up, no matter how difficult the journey. You must be resilient like the mountains around us and flexible like the rivers that cross them." With his heart filled with new perspectives, Luke thanked Eli and returned to the village, determined to apply the wise man's teachings in his life. He began to explore his passions, dedicating himself to music, something he had always loved but never had the courage to pursue. At the same time, he started volunteering in the community, helping those in need, and in return, found a sense of purpose he had never felt before. Days passed, turning into weeks, and Luke felt more connected with himself and the world around him. He realized that true success was not in achieving external goals, but in living a life full of meaning and purpose. His actions began to inspire other young people in the village, who were also searching for their own paths. A year passed, and Luke decided to return to the place where he met Eli, to share with him how much his life had changed. When he arrived, he found only the great tree. He asked the villagers about Eli, but no one knew of a man fitting his description. Luke then realized that Eli was more than just an ordinary man. He was a manifestation of the wisdom that had always been within Luke, waiting to be discovered. From that moment on, Luke understood that the old man Eli represented the inner voice we all have, a voice of wisdom and guidance that, when we listen, leads us to true success. He smiled at the tree and silently thanked it for not ignoring this inner voice and for all the lessons learned from it. In conclusion, Luke returned to the village with a new mission, to help others find their own answers, just as he had found his. He opened a community center where young people and adults could explore their passions and discover their purposes, creating a movement of transformation in the village and beyond. And so, Luke's story teaches us that success in life is not in material goods or the approval of others, but in our ability to listen to our inner voice, to follow our passions, and to serve others. We all have an Eli within us, waiting to guide us on the path to true prosperity. If you feel lost, remember Luke's story and know that the answers you seek are already within you. Listen to your inner voice, follow your passions, and never give up, because the journey to success is built step by step, with consistency, resilience, and purpose. If you enjoyed this story and want to see more inspiring content, don't forget to click on the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notifications. See you in the next inspiring story.